Hello everyone, I'm back with my awesome art mod series. I'm making a couple of changes to how I'm doing these. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter and sweeter and maybe only covering one mod per video. The mod I have for you today is the Planified Starter Base by Nemesis, which I think is a really cool mod if you like building but don't really know where to start particularly with it. It adds a wire mesh building option, which is really cool. So I picked out this spot of ground and I'll just show you how it works, and if at any point you find yourself liking this video, please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. So I'm in creative mode at the moment. So we've got a Planified Starter Base here, which is an engram you unlock at level 4. This base is actually based on a build by Aaron Longstaff, and I'll drop a link to his channel down in the comments because he built some truly awesome bases. All in vanilla, so this works with vanilla stuff as well, and it costs 50 fibre, 10 thatch and 10 wood just to get the plan down, which is nice and cheap. So let's build it. And it added 20 because I'm in creative mode. Right, one of the awesome things about this mod that I really love is it tilts to the landscape, which absolutely, if you've ever tried using other building mods, they have this unfortunate tendency sometimes to not actually move with the landscape, and then you end up with like half a hill. And you can see it adds this wire mesh down here. Now you can sort of see the rough outline of the base already. Like I said, it's kind of loosely based on one of Aaron's builds, I think. His has like a big pen that comes off the side here, which looks pretty awesome. And you've got different colours to represent different parts of the building, and if you wander around somewhere around here, let's try and find it, there is there should be a radial menu option. Okay, I'm an idiot. Right, so I spent all that time looking for where the radial menu comes up, and it actually comes up here. So you've got the sign, so you can pick it up, you can hide the walls, and you see the models updated to remove all the walls. You can also hide the ceilings and the ramps railings. So it's 3 different components. Now once you start placing things in, they should just snap in for the first 4 snaps, I believe. And I'm just going to follow the plan here. So we've got a wood floor here, 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 here. Probably fast forward time a bit while I'm doing this. And yeah, it's really cool. Basically the way I see this being useful is sometimes you want to throw down something quite pretty, but you don't want to spend a vast amount of time planning it out. So it really helps for stuff like that. So yeah, so you can already see it kind of taking shape a bit, and then a ramp. Okay, so you take pillars, and pillars will automatically snap to the middle of things, so you can snap there, but you can't snap on the corners. So what you need to do, and what I don't think is shown on the model, or it might be, is take fence foundations. Okay, and then you can snap those along there. And then you can take your pillars and you can now snap them to the corners, so it takes advantage of that little building trick, which is one of my personal favourites, because then what you can do with these is then put in some stone walls, or regular walls, whichever walls take your fancy. Right, and then you get this really nice effect where you've got the pillars, it looks like they're holding up the walls. They're not, they're actually just decorative. They're structural rather than structural, but they look pretty cool. And then we've got a stone doorway in here. just be careful as well, because it won't always snap quite correctly. So because there's two foundations here, sometimes you're snapping to the wrong one. So it just takes a bit of fiddling, but that's not a problem with the mod, that's just a problem with Ark's, the way Ark builds. And then we've got some more pillars on the back, so we'll need some more foundations down here. Okay, so then you've got your basic box down, and then all you need to do is really work on the ceiling. And then you've got a mezzanine floor with a hatch in it, hatch frame. So, and then just wood for the rest of it, wooden ceilings. Obviously, when you're doing it yourself, you'll probably fiddle around a bit. Fiddle around a bit more to make sure everything's level. I'm just throwing this up really quickly, just to show you the speed at which you can achieve things with this mod. So see that hasn't snapped to the right location, but it snapped close enough. So let's just live with it. The only mild, not really even a criticism, it's just a mild thing about this mod, is that because obviously the when you're snapping something to anything in Ark, it's like green. The actual color shift between the two different things, the green of the walls and the green of the snap points, can get a bit confusing. Can't spell today, my fingers aren't working, it's too cold in here. Right. So you see like that has snapped, but it's not quite snapped to the right place. But because there's the because it's the same colour, effectively you can't necessarily tell where you're snapping to right up until the point where you do the snap. So that's all done. I think these are either water pipes or pillars they're meant to be, but I'm just going to do them as pillars because that's nice and quick and easy, and I'm not going to be keeping this, so it's not like I need to grow a base particularly, so I don't need like space for props or anything like that. Close enough. I'm sure there are people out there that are like twitching internally, and don't worry, if I were actually building this for reals, I would be twitching as well at my incredibly shoddy placement of some of these things. But I'm not, so it's fine. I'm just showing off the mod. Okay, 4. Right, and this is a cool trick you can do. So you take railings, which I just took off my hotbar for some reason. 5, and then you just stack railings on top of each other, and it makes like a little cage, so you can use this as like a dodo pen or something. This build does rely on that fence foundation trick quite a lot, and they don't actually show up on the wire mesh, so that is just something to be aware of when you're building with this. So that's our little dodo pen done, and then just on the other side we have a forge area. I think this is meant to be. So, and then what we can do is just go pick up our Planified Starter Base, and then we have a perfectly acceptable little starter base. Now, it's not like great shakes, but you've got like space out here. You can put your refining forges down. This will obviously be useless in PvP, so I wouldn't worry about it in that. You've got like kind of quite pretty way of doing things with the pillars covering over the joins in the walls, which is how I like to do it anyway. You've got an interior space that's big enough. You can put some beds in this corner, smithy over here, and then maybe some storage along top, which you can do putting catwalks on the join between the two stone walls. You've got upstairs area for whatever you want it for, and downstairs obviously take more care with the snaps than I've done, but again, that's not a problem with the mod. That is literally an issue with arc snapping system. And then you've got a little pen over here that you can put feeding trough and some dodos in. So yeah, I really like this mod. I think it's a great idea. It riffs off a lot of the things Aaron Longstaff does with his builds, and again, I will leave a link to his channel. I've obviously in creative mode, but I've just thrown together a perfectly acceptable base within like half an hour, 22 minutes, something like that. So yeah, and some of that was hunting around for the thing, so I'd say about 15 minutes it's taken me to put this together, and then you have like a perfectly acceptable base that you can modify and customize as you want. Maybe extend along here like in the Aaron Longstaff build, and put like some walls in. But yeah, it's really cool, and I hope to see this kind of mod done for a lot more structures, because this is a nice little starter base for the moment, and it's really funky. It makes the entire building process very easy. But if you extend that out to more complicated structures or purpose-built structures or something, I think it'd be really awesome. So I'd love to see more mods like this. They're very cool. So that was the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly actually enjoy making it, because building's one of my favourite things in Ark. And yeah, if you've enjoyed it at all, then hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that absolutely great stuff that really helps the channel out. And wherever you're in the world, have an absolutely great day.